Hi, I'm Dr. Jesse Schulz, physical therapist in Mukwonago, Wisconsin. Today I'm going to add some detail to what a physical therapist, Jeff Cavalier, showed in one of his videos on his Athlean X channel on YouTube. He basically provided this 6-minute abdominal workout, which I think is a very good workout. He basically listed out all these progressions, but not a lot of details. So this video is basically going to be for a beginner athlete or someone who's not an athlete or doesn't have very good abdominal strength, with kind of talking about how to progress yourself with some abdominal exercises that encompass all the different functions of the abdominal muscles, along with some of the things to avoid doing that a lot of people that have a weak core or weak abdominal muscle group that they just do very habitually, so you don't make those same mistakes. The first exercise is called a cliffhanger. Now, to do a cliffhanger, you can either start on your knees or on your feet. And what you're going to do is you're going to tilt your pelvis backwards to flatten your back. As you've got your back flat with your pelvis tilted, you're going to slowly walk yourself out, holding that back flat, holding your pelvis tilted, and then as soon as you go as far as you can, before you can't go out any further without letting your back sag, you hold your spine flat and your pelvis tilted as you walk back up. Again, from your knees, it's easier than from your toes. If you still cannot do this from your knees because your stomach muscles are too weak, what you can do is put a towel on your countertop. Again, turn your pelvis to keep your back flat, slide your hands forward, and then use your stomach muscles to slide yourself back, again as your back is flat and you're keeping your pelvis tilted. It'll do the same thing, but it'll just be easier. Now, the next exercise Jeff showed was the 21 crunch, which is more of a top-down exercise to kind of work the mid-range abdominal muscles. To do this, you lie on your back, you lift one leg up to about a 45-degree angle, and you reach towards the foot. Now, when you do this, you only have to raise up high enough to get your shoulder blades up off whatever surface you're lying on. As you reach up, you lower back slowly to flatten out your spine from the bottom up as you kind of roll backwards. Then you switch legs. Come up, roll down. You then do one to the middle, back down. One leg, up, down, 45 degrees, up, down. A lot of people want to lift their leg too high. If you do this, you barely have to do anything at all. So try to keep yourself restricted to about a 45-degree angle as you do that motion. The next exercise is called the Sledge Hammer. Now, because most of the people that will be watching this video are beginners, we're going to do a Sledge Hammer with a step away. So, you've got a band or some tubing, or you've got maybe a cable machine with a handle, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold this like you're holding a handle of a baseball bat or of a sledgehammer. You're going to turn your leg that's nearest whatever you have this band connected to, so your whole body, chest and hips, are facing away. When you do this, the leg that's nearest that should be pointing in the same direction as you're turning your chest and hips. You're going to do 2 twists. Then you're going to keep your hands in the center of your body, keep your belt buckle forward, keep your chest forward, and step away with both feet and step back. Your pelvis will want to turn if you have too much resistance or you don't control yourself well enough. Sometimes your chest will try to turn, and sometimes your feet will both turn to the same direction or turn off of being pointed straight ahead. So keep everything pointed straight ahead after your 2 twists when you step away. Make sure to do this, of course, on both sides. When you're stepping away, if you cannot, with your elbows straight, keep yourself in line where something keeps twisting or your feet turn, you can bend your elbows so you have a shorter lever when you do this. The next exercise is called the reverse corkscrew. You'll lie on your back, twist your legs slightly, keep your knees and feet together. You should not be feeling your pelvis twist. After you turn your legs a little bit, I want you to do a pelvic tilt. When you do a pelvic tilt, it's like you're rolling your tailbone up off the table a little bit by twisting your pelvis. You shouldn't be moving much. Then twist your legs the opposite direction, keeping your knees and feet together. And again, roll your pelvis backwards, tilt your pelvis to lift your tailbone. And you're just going to alternate one on one side, one on the other. Now, if your abdominal muscles are weak or you're not paying attention to what you're doing, there's a couple common mistakes that people will do. Number one, they'll try to use their leg muscles to pull their knees towards your chest. You can do a lot more like this because you're using different muscles in your abdominals to try to do the motion. Number two, some people try to lift their hips straight up in the air. And again, what you're trying to do is use your stomach muscles to roll yourself backwards. It should be a very small motion if you're doing this properly. The next exercise, there's a few different variations of this, a side plank. Now, if you're a starter or a beginner for side planks, you can start on your knees and elbow with your knees bent to about 90 degrees. Lift yourself up, trying to maintain a straight line between your legs, your stomach, and your shoulders. Don't let yourself sag down. A lot of people, when they do this, they'll either roll backwards or more commonly roll too far forward. So make sure your body's straight ahead and in a straight line. If you can do this and you've got good control, what you can try is doing it from your feet. And of course, do this exercise on both sides as well. The last exercise is called a plank with a knee tuck. Now, with this exercise, the important thing to know is if you don't have good stomach strength, you might not be able to start by doing this on the floor. You might need to have your feet on the floor when your arms are on a countertop or on a bed, something higher, which will make the strain on your abdominal muscles a lot less. So, what this would look like if you were doing it on the floor, from your hands or from your hands or from your elbows, but definitely from your feet. In this position, bring your knee towards your opposite elbow, and then tuck up by moving the area between where your bra strap would be at the bottom edge of your shoulder blades and your belt line. This spot right here in the middle, that's where you're trying to push up towards the ceiling as you're bringing your knee towards your chest or towards your opposite elbow. So as you bring your knee up, push that area of your spine towards the ceiling, then switch sides. Push, push or tuck, push and tuck, tuck, tuck. Just alternate sides as you do that, making sure your back doesn't sag, pushing or tucking that spine up towards the ceiling every time you bring that knee up to the elbow or towards the elbow if you don't have good range of motion in your hips. Thank you for watching. There'll be some instructions in the comments for this video below as far as how many times to do these, how often to do these, all the information you'll need to have good success with this. Thank you very much.